Get the cake right to the side sex. Leave the fire and the roof styles. I'm on a grind like we're chasing the stars. For Millmore to do Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like middlemen, hear the roar now. We're middlemen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. For Millmore to do that.
Good evening and welcome to Miller's Monday. And tonight I'm your host, rather than Mr. K. Bush, King Bush. He has gone to the Manchester United game, I believe. He might watch one of his teams actually win for once, but we'll see. And we are on, as always, the number one Rotherham United podcast, KV Toast Talk Miller's edition. Now, I've currently got with me two esteemed guests, colleagues. I'm possibly waiting on the third. So I'll start with the guy who is right underneath me, and that is Pete. Pete, how you doing, fella?
Yeah, evening, Bez, evening, Tom. Well, we've got to be, haven't we? See what tomorrow brings, mate.
Yeah. I have to say, anyone who's watching really appreciate it. I'm not expecting a lot of views because, to get up for doing this podcast again after Rotherham just continue to be playing poorly and not giving a toss, let's face it, is very difficult. Anyway, he's always here, win, draw or lose, and that's Tom. How are you getting on, Tom?
Really good, Dave, Pete. I'm lying, really bad. Do you know what? The best thing to come out of this season, right, for me, is this podcast and that banging tune at the start. I love it.
It's good.
It's brilliant. I mean, it's obviously, I'm assuming it's AI, but I mean, still, it's fantastic. I love it. It's a right tune. But do you know what? Let's have a chat about the absolute disaster that our football club is. So, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair as well, Tom, just on all the presentations and the intros and stuff, I think Lee's done a lot of them, but they've all been really good. I've been really impressed with him. And, the fact with this podcast only been going about, 9 months-ish, I think.
Yeah.
And we've progressed really well. So that's all down to you guys who are watching. So we really do appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Couple of comments. Rotherham Gaming, evening lads. Evening Rotherham Gaming. How are you, mate? You okay? Billy Oldman, where's Tiny tonight, lads? And yeah, Billy. So Tiny was the third person who was due on. So I don't know if he's going to get on or not. I have messaged him to see if he's coming on because he did say earlier he would come on. So hopefully he gets on. I guess it depends if he's managed to get home from work because he sometimes struggles. He's relying on public transport and all that, which, as we know, public transport in Rotherham is not great. So, yeah. Right then, let's dive into this then. We've obviously got a lot to talk about, unfortunately. We've got the Barnsley game that we've witnessed on Saturday, unfortunately. I do want to touch on Lee Clark's press or post-match interview as well. And then we've got another game tomorrow, which, Wigan away. If Rotherham don't win, that is it. Rotherham are officially down. And it looks like it will end tomorrow because Wigan, to be fair, since they've changed their manager, their form's been really good, considering they were, I think, bottom 4 when he came in. And you've got to say fair play to Wigan for getting that appointment right in Gary Caldwell. So I'll start with Barnsley then. So I didn't obviously join the after-match reaction on Saturday, so I'll just give my views quickly and then I'll move on to the guys who I don't know if both of you were on Saturday. I know Tom will have been on. I'm not sure if you were on, Pete, but if you were, just give like a little overview of the game. So I thought first off, Rotherham did okay. I don't think there was anything in game. To be fair to that Barnsley's goal, I know Clark's had a go, as Leeds have just taken against Man U incredibly. The strike from that lad, Adam Phillips, was excellent, to be fair. And it reminded me that if a Rotherham player got in that position, he wouldn't have scored because he was a good 20, 25 yards out. And he just smashed it into the bottom corner. So I thought to honestly, a fair play, just a good goal. I don't think there's anything we could do about. I don't think there's anything Rotherham could do about it unless they had another defender back. Obviously, we were attacking at the time, and they counter-attacked. And I know Lee Clark, he kind of mentioned that goal on his post-match interview, but I actually thought, it was just well played by Barnsley. And then you go into second half, and you're probably thinking, if Rotherham could raise the game a little bit, they could win this still. And obviously, the opposite happened, and Rotherham was shambolic in that second half. Didn't deserve anything. Barnsley deserved the 3 points. I'll be honest, I walked out at 3-0 about 75 minutes, so I've not even seen the penalty. Don't know if it was a penalty. I've seen that Nombe scored it. Fair play to him. But yeah, just another typical Rotherham performance where one good half, one bad half. Didn't really look like winning the game at all. And it's just a sign of a team of losers to me. They are just a complete bunch of losers. Some of those players I still believe have quality, but they've just given it up. And, mentally, you have to be better. It's all right, Dan Gore. And to be fair to Dan Gore, he actually had a good game, I felt, on Saturday. So I'm not picking on him. But Dan Gore, if he wants to get anywhere, he's got to improve his mental strength. It's the same with probably Gray, same with Sam Nombe. These lads, people have got Jordan Hugo. Jordan Hugo was a top-end championship player all his career. People would argue Sam Nombe is better. We've all said, can't wait for him to come back, we'll start scoring. He's nowhere near level of Jordan Hugo. He never will be because he's not got the mental strength for it, I'm afraid. So, I'll come to you first, Pete. As I said, I don't know if you were on the aftermatch on Saturday, but, what were your thoughts on the game?
I thought we started well, to be fair. First half, I thought Barnsley looked shocking. We might get something, but I worked with a few Barnsley fans, and they were moaning about the defence. It's shocking. You'll easily score by us. Worst defence we've seen at Barnsley. I thought we've seen Rotherham's. Like Lee Clark mentioned that first goal. Obviously, him who scored, he had 2 other options to pass to. That's how easy it was for him. I'm surprised he shot, to be fair, because he could have passed it right or left.
I was as well, to be fair.
Then second half, it was just a disgrace, wasn't it? It's like they've given up in it.
Yeah.
They're just like, they're not interested in it. Like I say, Dan Gore's not even a Rotherham player. He plays for Man United. There's already been putting effort in for me. And maybe Baptiste, and not even our players. It's like they've all just thrown towel and think that's it, we're done. I said they'll all find a new club next year. Then we're back to square one, aren't we? Another rebuild. It's a dire situation, mate, honestly.
Do you trust as well? Because I know Lee kind of spoke about this quite a lot in terms of every single season's rebuild. Do you trust like this setup, whether it be Stuart or Scott, Rob Scott or Lee Clark? Do you actually trust anyone in the club to get this rebuild right next season or not?
Fair as well as Lee Clark said in pre-match interview after the game, that we're not happy with stuff, calling people out. I thought if he's here next season, he gets his own players in. I think he's that kind of manager. They'll run a brick wall through him, won't they? Some players. I think he gets his own players in, but I don't know if he'll get the job because to sell these season tickets, they need a big announcement. They need to do something to sell these tickets. So God knows what they're going to do with this one. They always do something, don't they?
Yeah, so, well, we'll come on to Lee Clark in a bit. His post-match, will he still be here next season? But Tom. So, and again, I know you would have been on Saturday. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. I was so annoyed at Rotherham that I can't watch any Rotherham content. I only just listened to the Lee Clark interview an hour ago because I know I had to for this podcast. That's the only reason why I've done it. If I went on this podcast, I wouldn't listen to it because I just lost complete interest myself. So what were your thoughts on the game, Tom?
A bunch of muppets, to be honest with you. And Barnsley weren't much better, but yeah, they won 3-1. The first half, I agree with Pete, it were all right. And then absolute schoolboy under fours defending for the first goal. And as Pete rightly said, they had 2 other options. It's a cracking finish. It's a great finish. And at that point, I thought to myself, that's it, innit? This is rubbish. Second half, just went through the motions. And they've give up. Do you know what? They don't even deserve, Bez. They don't even deserve. That team doesn't even deserve a tactical breakdown of where it went wrong and where it went right, because they are utterly rubbish losers. And I said on my show last night, hopefully the majority of them leave. I want them to come on this show and have a chat with us and tell us what actually was going on in the background all season. Please do come and have a word with us, because I'm quite happy to never see any of those players play for my football club again. Honestly, I am. And like I said, we're going to come on to Lee Clark shortly. First half, if we'd have took his chances, I think Biancheri had a good chance, didn't he? And Les Payne said he almost headed it too well, as it were.
But just on that side, actually, because what we thought on Biancheri, the reason I'm anxious is because I actually thought he did okay myself. My mate would really like having a go at him, saying he was horrendous and wanting him off at half time. And to be fair, he did get brought off at half time. So what we all thought on him?
I thought he did all right, mate. He could have scored. And the thing is, though, these are the players we're looking at that we shouldn't even be bothered about now, because we're gone, we're done, we're finished. We're not going to have Eric Gray. We're not going to have Biancheri. We're not going to have Baptiste. Nombe's going to do one by, right? All that. I mean, the only players, and I've been harsh, actually. I'm all gone, but I think we need to keep some. If we can keep hold of, obviously he wasn't playing Spence. I think he'll be good in League 2 potentially, because he came from Barrow, awful place. And who else? Actually, now there isn't anybody else, is there?
What about Douglas, Tom?
Hamish Douglas, yeah.
Yeah, I won't mind seeing him next year.
He'll be all right. Keep hold of players like that. But when I say the majority, I mean, God's sake, it was absolutely woeful. We are watching right now a Rotherham team that will be unrecognisable next season. None of them absolute muppets, and not 90% of those muppets will have gone to another team, and God help the other teams if that's their mentality. Absolutely zero fight, nothing, absolutely nothing from them. So we can forget about the loan players. We can forget about the ones that are out of contract, because I would not be offering them contracts. Not a chance, right? Joshua Coyote. Where is Joshua Coyote? Where is he? Does anybody know where Joshua Coyote is? I'm lost. I don't know where he is. Zach Jules, bye. Get lost, Zach Jules. Well, you're gone, mate. Lenny, maybe would look okay in League 2.
I thought he did okay again, actually, Agbear. Agbear the last couple of weeks in one plays, I thought, you know what, he's done okay, actually.
Well, he was man of the match for me the previous game, mate. But the rest of them just get lost, honestly. I said, warn all the away fans now. We're going to play academy graduates. Sod it. Point. What's the point?
Yeah.
We're putting these players out there to get other contracts somewhere else. So
I want to see that. The two I want to see are Duncan. I said Duncan, and the striker. Is it Dean or Dan Gardner? One of them.
Who was the academy lad we had on the bench this weekend? Midfielder.
I've never heard of him. I don't know. My mate was asking me, and I've honestly never heard of him. He was a goalkeeper, weren't he? He was a goalkeeper.
No, somebody else.
It was someone else, midfielder.
Yeah, there were two on bench, still youngsters.
Let me have a look then. So
is it
I know
Lee?
that one was one. Who? Sorry,
Lee. What's his last name? Lee.
I can't think.
Could have been. I'm just checking now. So it was, C. Lee. I've never heard of him. So I've never heard of him. So you've got, is it Ben Childs, who the goalkeeper?
He's the academy goalkeeper.
And then it was C. Lee. And I honestly, I don't know who he is. Because it's Cohen Lee. He's 19. I've never heard of him. So I don't know.
He must have done something to get on the bench. So do you know what?
Maybe.
Take him to Wigan and play him.
Yeah.
You
As
know
well.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on the game, Dave.
Okay. Thanks, Tom. I'm going to come back to yourself, Pete, in a minute. I'll give you a warning. I'm going to ask you about the tactic because, and I called this in the game. I thought he did this. He definitely played 4-4-2, and he actually confirmed it on his interview. So I'm going to give you a minute, though, Pete, to have a think about it because you do know why I'm asking you of all people.
Yeah, I do.
So I'll give you a minute. Right. David Carroll, evening, lads, doing a great job. Keep up the good work. David, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Ian Besley, public transport in Rotherham is rubbish. The council is rubbish. The football is rubbish. I've got a podcast on what is good about Rotherham. It would be a short one, though. You're right. It would be. Yeah, that's my dad. He's right there. Samuel, it's the lack of shots all season. It's the looking for the perfect goal. Yeah, and I do half agree with that, Samuel. I mean, I was surprised, and we'll come on to Lee Clark's interview later, but I was surprised that Lee Clark reckons we had lots of chances in that first half because I didn't think we did. We had a couple of half chances, but I don't think we created enough to win game. Miller or 9, must admit Clark's comments sound like he knows what kind of plays we really need. Yeah, fair enough. And that's the last one so far. So make sure you get your comments in. So the same, Pete, I'll come back to you. So to be fair to Lee Clark, he's changed the formation a few times already, but he does tend to stick to 4 at back. Like it was only the Lincoln game, weren't it, where for that second half he went to 3. Every other game has been 4 at back. So he's gone to 4-4-2 and we're still not getting a result. So what are your thoughts now? Are you still, we need to stick with 4 at back, or have you kind of realised that it doesn't matter what formation we play, we're going to lose anyway?
Yeah, obviously, I'm a 4 at back man myself. I like a 4 at back, but whatever team he picks, they're not interested. We could play any formation. I'm really disappointed in Duncan Watmore, me. When we signed him, I thought, good player. He's really disappointed me. He don't look interested, does he? So I didn't even know that formation was 4-4-2 we played Saturday. I thought it was 4-3-2-1. That's what I thought it was. I thought Biancheri and Gray played behind Numby. That's what it looked like to me.
Right.
I don't know.
No, he was. The way I saw it was they were Biancheri 1 wing, Gray 1 wing, and then it was Watmore up front with Numby. That's what I saw anyway. And then, like I said, Lee Clark did mention it on his post-match that it was 4-4-2.
But you need a strong midfield as well, mate. We haven't got one, have we? We haven't got a midfield anymore. We used to talk about having best in league. What's happened to it? We haven't got nobody, have we?
I still like Dan Gore. Do you not like Dan Gore?
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday.
I love Dan Gore. He'd be good in a good team. He's wasted us, isn't he?
Right, fair enough then. Right, Tom, we're going to move on then from the game and let's talk about Lee Clark's interview. So, as I said, I listened to it about an hour ago, and as I said, I always took because I was forced to. Obviously, he does get angry. I'll be honest, I don't agree with a lot of things he said. I mean, I'm happy that he got angry. From having Hampshire come on to Lee Clark being angry, you'd rather have Lee Clark being angry, wouldn't you, and calling plays out. Obviously, it's too little, too late. But what were your thoughts on the interview? It's been mentioned a lot, and a lot of other fans have given him praise for it. But I don't know if you give praise to a manager who's going to go all season without winning the game. So what are your thoughts on the interview?
I mean, he was angry, to say the least. But it was more telling what he said about there's players at his door every day saying they're injured. There's players dropping out of training sessions because they're injured. The bodies have not been fine-tuned for the intensity. That's the key word. The intensity that he wants them to play at. It's almost like we're living in a parallel universe. Because I remember Paul Warne in charge of his whole mantra. Paul Warne's mantra, right, was they've got to be the fittest of the fit, right? He took them to, Poland, Croatia, Czech Republic, wherever it was, right? And he had them running, and they were fit. I can't remember anything like this. And the weird thing was, his first team physio was with him at the time. What's happened? What has happened? But anyway, back to Lee Clark. No, I agree with him. And I think he was just venting what all the fans think. And he's called them out. One thing that I was surprised at, and Pete mentioned it in the comments on match day, is that he made Sam Nombe captain. Why on earth is Sam Nombe captain of Rotherham United? A man who we are led to believe is off to Peterborough the second the season finishes. What does that tell you? It tells you everything you need to know. So that is a black mark against Lee Clark for me. Why would you make Sam Nombe captain, first and foremost?
Okay, so on that then, because rather than go back and forth, so my second point of this kind of section was going to ask you about where do you see, will Rotherham appoint Lee Clark, and do you want Rotherham to appoint Lee Clark, or do you think he still deserves to see what happens in these next 4 games or whatever we've got left? Where you sit a minute, Tom? Because let's face it, a lot of us, and I'm including myself in this, when Lee Clark was appointed, we all actually thought, Joe, what, that's a decent appointment, that. And we had a lot of away fans saying, yeah, but he's not managed for 3 years. When he were at my club, Blackpool, he was terrible. When he was at my club, whoever, he was terrible, right? But we were all quite positive about it. Now, I kind of understand why we were positive, because we'd got rid of Ramshaw. That's where we were positive. I don't think it mattered if you brought in Lee Clark, if you brought in Tom Brown, if you brought in, I don't know, your dog. I don't think it mattered, because we were so excited the fact that Ramshaw had gone. So is it that then? Is it the fact that with the reason we were positive, it was purely because Ramshaw had gone? And actually, if we'd have looked into Lee Clark more, we'd have seen it weren't a great appointment. So where do you stand? Like, this is you, Tom. Where do you stand at minute with him?
He's gained 1 point out of his games, hasn't he?
Yes,
Stevenage, which was crap. We were crap against Barnsley. We were crap against Lincoln. We were crap against Port Vale. But then again, you have to factor in the players that he had, who are crap as well. I think the club will appoint him. I do. Because he has been asked to advise on the retained list. Be easy job that. I'd go and hand them a blank sheet of A4 paper. Oh, where's your retained list, Lee? Well, nobody. Get lost. A lot of them, right? And use that as, to, I don't know, do something with it. But no, he's not the right man for me. I like his passion. I agreed with a lot of his interview. But at the same time, he's not managed to fire these absolute useless people up. And if any Rotherham United players watching, with an exception of a few, you are useless, right? Because you have let this club down. You've let your manager down. You've let your previous manager down. Then again, he's let the club down as well, for my money. But and then the board's let the whole town down by not acting quick enough. So to answer your question, Dave, no, I'm not Lee Clark for the rebuild. I did mention yesterday, I don't know if you saw it in the chat, sell season tickets next year. I can see the club, bear with me, Bez, I can see the club trying to get Ronnie Moore in.
Wow. Okay.
Sell season tickets. Because that's the only option they've got now.
Okay.
So, Bez, you're a season ticket holder. $1 million question. Are you renewing next season?
Well, to be fair, yeah. I'm one of those fans who renews whatever season it is, because it's the good thing, and this is a good thing that Rotherham and the club have done. When I was a season ticket holder at Rotherham when I was young, you'd have to pay you 300 quid up front. So a lot of people might not be able to afford that because it's a big chunk of money. But since the new ground, they've allowed you to pay in monthly instalments, and it doesn't charge you anything in interest. And I think that's really good. And what else they've done is, as long as you do nothing, your seat ticket just rolls over, and it keeps rolling over until you say, I'm not going. So, to be honest with you, I've got no work that I need to do in terms of retaining my seat ticket. So I never won't do. So, to me, if Lee Clark's a manager, and I'll be honest, my view is that he's not made any changes at all. I get the interview was we enjoyed his process interview because he was quite passionate, and we never had that from Shaw. But in terms of the play and playing style, and how he's set up, I've not seen an improvement in the slightest, not one. And I still think, like, I might be stupid. A lot of fans have changed their mind. Lee's changed his mind. I think you might have changed your mind as well, Tom and P. I still think these players have got more quality than a lot of League One teams. I agree with Lee when he says Nombe would walk into a lot of League One sides. Dan Gore would, Duncan Watmore would, Gray would. I still believe that. I think Keon Spence would get into a lot of sides. Not everyone, but a lot of sides. I still think the quality of side is good enough. So if we brought in the right manager, look, Neil Warnock was never going to come. But if we brought someone as good as Neil Warnock in, I think this team had a chance of stopping up. So with regards to the answer, Tom, I'll renew whatever, because I can't think of anything else to do on a Saturday. I'm one of them people who thinks, those people who don't watch football, what do they do on a Saturday? They must be bored out of their head. That's what I think. So I'll always read it regardless. So yes, the answer to your question is yes. Now, P, let's go on to you. In fact, I'm going to read some questions out, some comments out first. Then I'll come to yourself, P. I'll get you to talk about what Tom just spoke about, Lee Clark's interview and Lee Clark's situation. So, Danny, don't matter about league positions in regards to the result. Still see Wednesday play sprinting all over Coventry, definitely deeper rooted issues and an delegation. And Danny, that is exactly what I agree with. Sheffield Wednesday, the squad is really poor. It's decimated. Yes, they've still got some decent players, but it's decimated. And you watch Wednesday literally grind out a draw against Coventry. Was it a draw in the end? It was a draw, weren't it, in the end? They ground out a draw against Sheffield, against Coventry, who aren't just top at league, not just top of the league by about 10 points, but he scored like 3 goals every game. This is what I mean by it doesn't actually matter sometimes what the quality of your players are like. As long as you've got an half-decent side, you can grind results out. So I fully agree with Danny there. And that's why I don't want Lee Clark as manager, because he's not done that. Aaron, no matter what manager we get, this downfall of the club stems from the top eye to Stewart. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, in the ground whenever we go to games at half time, we'll go down to the bottom. You tend to stand with the group that you stand with, and a couple of lads in that group in our group were saying that they think something's happening at the club where Stewart might sell. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's just what they were saying. So hopefully we do see some changes at the top. Danny, the calling out of plays would normally spur players on and motivate, but these 5 Spurs will give up some more. Yeah, agree, Danny. Samuel, most of the squad are on holiday and looking after themselves ready for next season. Set a mug to sign them on for a lot of this. This is their last team they'll play for. Yeah, agree. Can't disagree with that. Ian Besley, don't stand on the fence, Tom. Just admit that we've been trapped under Clark. I think he did that, to be fair, in the end. Billy, these past 3 games, I thought we might have got 7 points. Lincoln are unstoppable, but Stevie fought well on Barnsley. We should have beaten. These sides are fought and we gained 1 point. Yeah, Billy, completely agree. We should have picked up at least 2 wins, in my opinion. So, yeah, fully agree. And that's last comment. So, Pete, you heard what Tom had to say. We'll start with the Lee Clark interview, because off air, obviously, you were quite happy with what he said and how he said it, weren't you? So, we'll start with that. What were your thoughts on his interview? And then we'll come on to what your thoughts are. Lee Clark keeping his role, and do you want a different manager next season?
Clark's intro was like a bit of passion we've seen this season from a manager, to be fair. Basically, he's just called everybody out, and if you listen to it carefully, he's basically called Ross Burberry out and all. If you listen to it.
He did, I agree.
Yeah, so he won't be there next season. Burberry will be gone, hopefully. So I'm just watching Leeds' game.
Yeah, Leeds is 2-0, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know with Clark. I don't think Guardiola get a tune out of this set of players, to be fair.
Okay.
Well, the squad leads. I think Clark will be here next year for cheap option. I do.
Really?
I
Just
I think they'll give a
cheap.
2-year contract. Yeah, I think we're stuck with Clark.
Well, even though he's only come in, and even though he claims it was him who said it, he only signed a contract at the end of this season. Do you not think there's anything in that then?
I just think we're stuck with him. There's no way Tony Stewart's going to go out and get a name manager and pay money or a big wage for somebody. Yeah, he has, but we're different now, aren't we, Bez? We're stuck in a rut, aren't we? But he has to sell season tickets, so he might get a name in. We don't know, do we? But I think we'd be stuck with Clark if, I don't know. Okay. It's hard to say, innit? I don't know, mate.
Let me ask you then, Pete. So Tom asked me about season tickets. I don't know if you have a season ticket. Do you just go to games or do you have a season ticket?
I had one last year, but I didn't mean you this year, mate. No.
Right. So I was going to ask you then, are you going to go to games next season then? If it's Lee Clark as manager?
I'll pick and choose my games, pal. Probably away games. New York Stadium, just a ghost town, innit?
It is a minute. I mean,
I don't like going, mate, to be fair.
On Saturday, about 60 minutes into the game, I think we were 2-0 down at the time, my mate took a photo of the ground, and that's the emptiest we've ever seen it ever in New York. Like, obviously, if you exclude the Papa John's Trophy or whatever it's called these days, for a league game, that's the worst I've ever seen it. So the fans are voting with the feet at the minute, and I'm just hoping that Stuart does see that, to be honest with you.
Even when we were in crap at Millmoor, I still love going Millmoor, but I've got a totally different perspective with New York Stadium for some reason. I just don't like going.
I actually like the ground. Like I think, because a lot of new grounds are all built very similar and there's an atmosphere. I actually think our ground was built all right, and I think like there has been atmosphere. The Preston playoff game, for example, that atmosphere was absolutely fantastic. So do you not agree with you can get atmosphere at the ground or not?
Oh yeah, you can, but no one's interested, are they? Obviously, team not performing, no one's going to get behind team, are they?
Okay.
Probably because I grew up at Millmoor. I watched all my games there from my youth and stuff. It's just a totally different experience at New York for me. When we're crap, and there's no there, is there? There's nothing.
Do you think there's a chance that Rotherham could go down again next season?
You never know, mate, do you? If you're not pumping him, we could end up in administration again. You don't know. Okay. I think Tiny said it. We could end up with admin again if he's not putting any more money in. Unless he sells.
Tom, any chance we could go down next season? Because, I remember I said this a good 6 months ago, but I did say it because it was more on Amshaw, weren't it? And I said that Amshaw could take us down again, but he's not here now. So my views changed slightly. But do you think we could go next season into conference?
Well, that happened to Carlisle, didn't it? They dropped from League One. They dropped from League One, went straight down.
Scunthorpe only 6 years ago we're playing Rotherham United for a place in Championship. Rotherham won. Scunthorpe 5 years later we're in National League North, never mind conference. So
and Scunny had Ivan Tony up front.
They did, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what's worrying for me. Like, how far down can we go? Billy Almond, I honestly think these last 2 games there'll be 7,000 attendance. And Billy. I don't know who we've got. So we've got who's our own games we've got left. Reading. The reason I'm asking you who we've got left because Reading, because they're going to get playoffs, I think they'll bring 1,000 fans. I really do, and that'll obviously bump it up. So the official attendance always includes season ticket holders, even if they don't go. So I'll be honest, I might not go to any more games this season. I don't know yet. Obviously, it depends on day. Depends what I feel like on day. But if I don't go, I'm still classed as attending because I've paid my money. So you're right, Billy. I think unofficially it might be less than 7,000, but officially it'll still probably be 8.5. Especially if the away team do bring, in Reading's case, I think they will bring 1,000 just because they're trying to, get thrown back to the Championship. I don't know who else we've got left at home. It's Wickham's away, isn't it, to be fair?
Last game, innit?
Yeah. Samuel, there has been nothing to shout about for the last 3 years. Yeah, agree. And you see what I'd say about this as well, Sam, is there hasn't been anything to shout about, but the attendances, and the season goals haven't really dropped that much because, last year was our worst year for 20 years. Obviously, this year is going to go down as worst year now, but last year was our worst year, and we still got 6,500 season tickets. So maybe fans are loyal, and they are going to carry on supporting Rotherham.
No,
you don't think so, Tom?
No,
Not this time.
Okay, fair enough.
The only way it happens is if a name comes in, and this is why I think they'll be thinking Ronnie Moore. Honestly,
No, but Tom, what I would say, I agree with you, but Ronnie Moore's like, no disrespect, he's on his deathbed, bless him.
He's better now, isn't he? He's better. And,
he's still really old. I kind of get your point, but I don't think it'll be Ronnie Moore. It'll be someone else who's big. I mean, I don't know what the answer is.
That's the question. Who would it be? Who could they possibly get from previous years? Or anything to do with, I mean, Artel's been mentioned, but that wouldn't make me.
No, it wouldn't do now.
Because season ticket. So you think about it. Paul Warne, no chance. Steve Evans signed a new deal at Bristol Rovers. Alex Ravel signed a new deal at Stevenage. Neil Warnock, done. Robbins, he wouldn't come for.
No, he won't come.
He'll be on good wages. Who is they? Who's left? And that's why I think to myself, because Ronnie Moore said on Radio Sheffield, I'll do it. Do you know what I mean?
If it's not Clark, it'll be Richard Wood. You'll watch.
That's what worries me. That worries me a lot.
That worries me a lot.
To be Richard Wood.
Frecklinton.
I know that wouldn't. They've got to have a proven manager. Like rather than a Lee Flackett to come in, if they got someone like who's like a lower championship manager who's out of work, that's the sort of manager where they'll attract the crowds. So I can't figure out off the top of my head, but let's say that I'll tell you what, Portsmouth's manager, right? It's Portsmouth's manager. It's a young and upcoming manager. If they sacked him and Rotherham brought someone like him in, I think you'd see a lot of excited people, and therefore they would buy a ticket. That's what I think, anyway.
Dave, where are the Cowley brothers at? Where are the Cowley brothers?
Last I knew they were at Colchester.
Have they just been bought by John Terry then, Colchester?
I don't know.
I think John Terry just bought Colchester.
I just know that they were at Colchester. Right, a few more comments. Aaron, best atmosphere I've had at Newton was Rotherham v Newcastle. That was 90 minutes loud singing in pure passion. And Joe, I wasn't there for that because I was on holiday. Oh, I was on a stag do, I think, so I didn't go to that. But yeah, I remember my mate who went instead of me, he was a Newcastle fan, funny enough. He said the atmosphere was really good. So yeah, fair point.
Preston North End League Cup. Playoff
game, yeah. Well, the Aldershot one was good as well. We obviously won the last game of season to get from League Two. That was a good one as well. Callum sell the club. We had a bad decision or two away from doing 3 relegations in 3 or 4 years. And yeah, I think, Callum, we agree with that. That's what we've been saying, to be fair. Billy Oldman, I don't think we've sold many for Wigan tomorrow night. And I can't see many making a long trip down to London on Saturday for Leighton Orient. And you're right, like the away attendances, apart from those who are either ticking grounds off or they're on some sort of, watching Rotherham 800 times in a row, whatever it might be, they'll still go. I reckon there's only going to be 250 tomorrow at Wigan, right? And that is amazing considering only 4 years ago, Rotherham took 4,000 fans. That is incredible, really. 4,000 to 250 in the space of like 4 years is incredible. To be honest.
Was that not an opening day game though, Bez?
No, it's last game of the season.
We stayed up, didn't we?
Oh yeah,
we already stopped up.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we already stopped up. Rotherham Gaming, Piero Bois. Not sure what that's about. Any ideas, Tom?
Piero Bowett. Maybe that's the new manager that he wants to bring in.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you look up for that. You look it up then, Tom.
Piero Bowett.
Yeah. Loves this podcast. I'm a Derby fan. You all do a great job. We have nothing to what you lads do. David, we really appreciate that. I know you've been on this podcast a lot. We do appreciate it. And one last comment before I bring a guest in. Samuel, I think we also need to make more key signs for you to keep keep Dango. Okay, I don't think Dango will stay. Unfortunately, Sam. I think I thought he could get a championship too, but he's not going out to League Two. That is a fact. Right, we've got Tiny who's joined us. Hi, Tiny. Okay.
All right, lads, how's it going? I'm not too bad, other than the fact that I'm making a trip to Wigan tomorrow. But
you're going. So I want to ask you, Tiny, before we go over the topics we already spoke about, will you definitely get a seat ticket again next year? 100%.
To be fair, I probably will renew, but I'm boycotting last 2 home games of this season because I think potentially it could make an impact, but I don't know, is enough. I've been reading comments actually, because it's actually made sort of news with a sports page, but I've been reading comments and it don't look promising. It seems like too many people are going against the boycott and are going to game anyway. Like, I've seen comments like, I'll support my club through fucking Finn at home. Mr. Stewart saved us in 2008, this, that and other. And I just look at them comments and I think, oh my God, what is happening here then, lads? What is happening? Why?
Well, to be fair, Tony, I've not really been on social media much today, but I've not seen anything to do with boycott myself. And yeah, I look, because of the way Rotherham fans are, and I've mentioned it before, I think the Rotherham fan base are 50-50 split on every single decision. So whether it be a new manager, whether it be a new chairman, I just think it's really 50-50, or very close 50-50. And so because of that, I don't think you'll ever find a boycott, because 50% of the fans will always go, which is wrong. I get it, it's wrong. I've said as well, like, I don't know if I'm going to go to last 2 home games either. I'll decide probably on day, but at this stage, I don't think I'm going to go.
Besides, they're going to be coming around doing lap of honour after Reading game. None of them deserve a clap, apart from maybe Dango at a push. Even Nombi won't be getting a clap from me when he comes round for lap of honour. I'm not going to lie. £1 million price tag. I've said it time and time again. You can't be walking around pitch like you are when when we were in the midst of a relegation battle. Now we are stone cold. We're freezing. We're dead. That's it. It's gone, and it's going to be confirmed tomorrow night, obviously. Which is quite sad to see, where club was 2 or 3 years ago, 19th in Championship, now Division 4 again, very backwards. It's just not worked, has it? Everything since. I don't want to go on about Paul Warne, but ever since he left, it just feels like everything's gone downhill. And it just makes you think, has he been keeping Tony Stewart's legacy up because of the way he managed the players? It was his way of managing the players and his fitness, and he rarely had anyone on physio table. Did that keep Tony Stewart high up and highly regarded in terms of Rotherham fans? I don't know. No one knows the answer to that, but yeah, I do believe that ever since he's left, it's like you've got a temporary bit of painting over a few cracks. It starts to deteriorate time and time again. Like, he left and it's just gone bosh. Everything's come out, the cracks, they're all back to where we were 15, 16 years ago. Back to square one again, and we'll probably do this same cycle again where we have a good few years. Oh, we're going up this year, we're going to be in Premier League in 5 years. We won't until big change happens. Like, big change in terms of the training ground, the staff numbers at the club. Like, I'm on about, like, not playing staff, but physio staff, coaches. We're not going to be up there. We're not going to be a League One club for a long time. Never mind even thinking about a 5-year plan to get to Premier League. In fact, I'll go as far to say, this time next year we'll be sat here in the same position talking about potential relegation to the conference. It's my thoughts.
I'm not. Well, we've kind of
club's
understood. Go on,
it's
Tom,
declining. It's decline. Like, we've gone from Championship to League Two in 2 years, 3 years, 2.5. So the next step for me, League Two's an hard league. It's a crap league, but it's an hard league. Big teams get stuck in there. Big teams fall straight through. My best example of it, I know they were in administration, going through a lot off the field. Scunthorpe United, Championship club at one point, League One playoffs every year, always one at favourites for promotion. It took a relegation and it all just cracked and they fell straight through into National League North. I go as far to say Morecambe, never been relegated before 2023. They've now gone back to back, albeit administration, bad ownership. But I wouldn't say our ownership is even all right. I'd say it's shocking at the minute. The fans are being left in the dark. Fans have been left in the dark this season. Apart from announcing loads of like merchandise for 100 years, like glasses and tops, etc. They've done that. Like, I will be the next time I attend the New York Stadium will be the charity game because after thinking about it, yeah, I do want to go, to be fair, because there's some top players on show there. So I will be going to that one. But yeah, like I've said, it's just a massive decline. The club don't communicate. What's the point anymore? What is the point?
Yeah, well, we've already mentioned Scunthorpe, to be fair, Tiny, and I'm not sure I agree about the Morecambe. I think Morecambe, for me, are a conference side anyway. They were punched through the way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
But
they
were always like a mid-table League Two team, weren't they? At one point, they were always well run.
Like Rotherham, they were always going to go down there. That's a conference for me, Morecambe. That was my fault.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
definitely. Oh,
Right.
that were inevitable.
Yeah, let's move on then. I'll just finish one comment out and then we'll move on. Stuart, the decline of Millers Festival, we will struggle in League Two next season. No question about it. The heart and soul being ripped out of the club, supports versus starting 68. And yes, Stuart, that's what Tanya was pretty much saying there. And Stuart, let me ask you then. You said there you support the club since 1968. Does that mean you're not getting seated next season or you won't be going? Just let us know. Be interested to see what you say. Right, we have unfortunately got a game tomorrow. As I already mentioned, it will guarantee our relegation when we don't pick up the 3 points. I'll start with you, Pete. I mean, I don't really know what to ask you. Wigan are 15th. 5 points above relegation now, so they're pretty much safe. They've scored 46 goals, conceded 56. The last 5 games have won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. And the top goal scorer is Joe Taylor, who's obviously on loan. And he's only been on loan for half a season, I think, as well. So he's done really well to get 14 goals. What would you do tomorrow then, Pete? So, would you still go for the win thinking we've got a chance of stopping up? Or maybe would you do what Tom said and maybe start trying different formations, trying different tactics, trying some of our youngsters? What would you do?
Well, like Clark said, all these players what call that who can't be asked. Stick the youngsters in for me. Give them a go. We're down anyway, aren't we? There's no chance of staying up. Get youngsters in. Give them a go. See how they are. Get Duncan at back. See how good he is. He's supposed to be highly rated, isn't he? Give him a go. Him who scored at Salford. Is it Gardner? Did he score at Salford?
I think he did score, yeah. Well, the target man as well, who was the Ayres score as well, didn't he? Salford.
And that was a midfielder scored at Salford.
Oh, he scored a 8 goal. To be fair, he scored a 8 goal that night. He bent it in from about 35 yard on the edge of the box with 2 men around him.
Yeah, just give him a go.
Is there any first teamers that you still want to play tomorrow?
Dango. Obviously, Can's going to play, isn't he? Baptiste.
Nombe's guaranteed. Nombe's first name on team sheet.
Stuff Nombe is going anyway. I won't play him.
Yeah, you can tell he's going because only game he's turned up for were Bolton at home. And that, funnily enough, it were a side who were interested.
Yeah, I play Josh Ayres up top. I would.
Okay.
We're down anyway.
Miller or 9, I'd make them all. I'd make all the first team in and let them face through the fans. Don't let them slink away scot-free. So Miller R9 saying he'd almost play them just so he can't get away with it. Okay, interesting. Tom,
Oh yeah.
what about you?
Oh,
Tom, what would you do tomorrow? Do you agree with Pete? Would you just, that's it, it's over, let's put youngsters out? Or would you still try and win the game and play what you feel is your strongest side?
No. Drop the lot of them. Speak to everyone individually. Question number 1, are you going to be here next season? If the answer, yes. Question number 2, do you want to play today? If the answer, yes. Question number 3, are you going to give me everything today? If the answer, yes, then, yeah, you're in. Anyone that they know that's not going to be here, what is the actual point of even putting them on? And I'm talking to you, Duncan Watmore. I'm talking to you, Sam Nombe. I'm talking to you, Josh Benson. Are you going to be here next season? Do you want to play for this football club? Because if you don't, we're not giving you any minutes, right? So piss off, right? However, what I will say is, I don't know, did it happen a few years ago where somebody got fined or there was like an investigation because a team put out a team full of shit players? The irony, right? Do you know what I mean? So, sorry, I'm swearing again. No swearing. They put out a team of players that weren't befitting to the normal team that they put out. How could it be any worse? Can we affect anybody's promotion or relegation?
No, I don't think so.
Not tomorrow now, really.
Or with our games? I mean, anything. Apart from our own, obviously. So, for me, Josh Ayres up front, Duncan at the back. Sod it. Where's he gone? Jack Holmes. He tries. He's not great, but he tries. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Put them out. Sod it. And Tiny, you're going to be there. Poor lad. And, yeah.
So why? So Tiny, let me ask you this then. So, two questions. So I'll ask you the same as these. As you're going, would you like to see the youngsters in and just accept a defeat almost, or would you rather Clark play his first team and try and win? Right. And second question is, why are you going tomorrow? What's the reason you're going for? If you don't want to go to games at home.
Well, I'll get easiest question out of the way. The away record, 120 in a row. Can't miss that. Can't mess one up now. Okay. I mean, it would be the same with home games, but it's flat, so I sometimes just can't be arsed with home games. Paid me money anyway, so I mean, it's not like I'm physically taking money from him. Then on to other questions. You know what? Yeah, chuck 11 kids out tomorrow. We've got naught to play for, have we? We have to win every single game to withstand a chance, and that's hoping everyone else don't win, which is not going to happen, is it? Chuck kids out. End of the day is not brilliant, but I'd rather have 11 Jack Holmes on pitch than 11 Sam Nombes. The reason why he cares about club, he puts effort in, and I'd rather have that than someone who's half decent, don't give a crap, only for not even for next season, only trying to poach interest at opposition. Yeah, nah, give me Jack Holmes any day. Probably start Ugle, to be honest. He's not played in a while, has he? I mean, probably a bold statement, that one, but yeah, why not? Secondly, a question. Well, if I could ask Lee Clark a question, what I'd want to know is he going to play damage limitation, or is he going to just think, no, oh well, and go for it and chuck everyone up for everything? Because this is the game. This is the game that seals it. So it does make you think: is he gonna try and ride out and sneak a 1-0, or is he gonna think, you know what, lads, just go for it, and chuck everything at him? We'll have to wait and see. What time's line up out? 6:15 tomorrow. We'll see, won't we? But until
I've got
then,
another question
no
for you,
one knows.
Tiny. Just let me read this comment out. Sean, do you know how many we sold for tomorrow? Does anyone know?
150 I've seen.
Right, 150. Fair play
Which
to you.
again, we took 4,500 to Wigan.
I know we've already mentioned it as well, Tiny. That yeah, agree with Pete. Mix up between 9 of the season, nothing at all to lose. And yeah, and I'll ask you one more question, Tiny. So because you only asked it originally, where do you stand with Lee Clark? Then would you like to see him given the job next season, or have you not seen enough for him to carry on?
I'm in middle personally. We did Amit job, didn't we? After he won a couple of games in a row towards back end of last season. He's here, in my eyes, he's here on an interim basis until the end of the season. It should go no further than that. The club wants fully stripping in the summer, from top to bottom, fully stripping, everything gone in the summer. Literally, build again, go again, new ownership, hopefully, which probably won't happen, but it's wishful thinking. It's the only way which I'd have a bit of positivity going into next season. But no, I mean, personally, Lee Clark interview on Saturday, I didn't mind it at all. I thought I really rated it, to be honest. It's took 10 months for someone to call out the players. It's took Lee Clark 5 games. In other news, so he's already seen that this squad isn't good enough and they're lazy and he's fuming. And to be fair, I can't see him being here. I can't see him being here anyway, regardless. I think in his eyes, he's got debt to pay off, and in June, he'll get something out of this job, pay that debt off, and then probably go back to retirement and learn his lesson. But yeah, no, I think it's just till end of season. But it really wouldn't surprise me if they did offer it in permanent, because he's only one willing to take job. I think it's been mentioned on here before. At this moment in time, we should have a full-on recruitment process in place. Like, we should get anyone who even wants to take the job, should get them all in for an interview. Check their CVs, etc. But yeah, there should be a proper recruitment plan in place for a manager of it summer, because this is going to be the biggest rebuild for probably 30, 35, 40 years. So it's got to go well. It's got to go well. It cannot fail this time.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let's quickly do. We're nearly coming to end. So let's quickly bite your tongue and give us some score prediction. So Pete, I'll start with you. What's your score prediction for tomorrow?
4-1 Wigan.
Who's going to get the Rotherham goal?
Josh Ayres.
Okay. Tom, your score prediction for tomorrow? Don't say 4-0 Rotherham, please.
Oh, you've stole it, Bez. You know what? I've seen positive signs. No, I'm joking. Be made.
What I would do, Tom? If I were you, I would stick with it, because at least you're consistent with your positivity, to be fair. So I'd stick with it.
Knowing our luck, and to keep the pain going on that much longer into the weekend, we'll end up going there and winning, won't we?
Mm.
Yeah, can you imagine it, like a really dull game, and there's a minute to go, and someone just, I'm going to shoot here from 30 yards out, and it sails into the top corner, and you're like, oh God, we've got another week of this.
Another week.
You can't see it, yeah.
I can see it. Do you know what? On that basis, I'm going 2-1 Rotherham.
Okay. Tiny, your score prediction for tomorrow?
1-0 Wigan, Joe Ungbo, 90 plus 5.
Okay. Fair enough then.
Did absolutely nothing for us, and he'll score for them in last kick to send us down.
Joe Hungbroke, oh my God, what an absolute waste of a player he was for us last season.
Yeah. Thankfully, we're only on loan, though, weren't we? Thankfully. What about this then? I'll ask Pete this one. So, YCC and IFC. So, it's Yorkshire Cricket Inter and IFC. Kari Arneson, for ex-manager, very intelligent, hard as nails. What are your thoughts on that, Pete?
I don't know what to think of that. That's
Is
just
he
what I heard.
I always found Arneson really quiet, though. Like, he just come across as quiet to me.
Don't always like in dressing room, do you?
No, you don't know. You don't know.
Could be totally different. Why not? Game ago. Could be another gem, couldn't it? You don't know, do you?
No. Tom, thoughts on Kari Arneson as manager?
Well, he's not a manager, first and foremost.
Well, what's he doing? What's he doing now then, Tom? Have you researched it?
Yeah, I have. He's doing, well, according to Wikipedia, he's doing now. Oh, no, he's doing nothing. So, yeah, why not? Let's bring him in.
Yeah, fair enough then. Right then, we've come to the end of it. We've done an hour, and that's as much as we can probably stomach at the minute. Again, the views have actually kept up really well, to be fair. We've got to like 100 or so watching now, which is brilliant. So, again, thanks everyone to watch. I know it's difficult season, and you know I'd be the first one to turn off anything to Roy United if I weren't doing this podcast. So I don't blame people for not watching. Hopefully, we do have a more positive season next season. Obviously, we've got a game tomorrow, and I'm assuming there'll be a live reaction afterwards.
Oh no!
I know. It could be the last one this season though, because if we go down, I think we'll do one, but that might be the last one for this season, to be fair. We've got your League One and Championship predictions that'll come out between me and Lee Bush over the next couple of days. I think it'll be Wednesday or Thursday, depends when we get them recorded, to be honest. We'd normally record them on a Monday, but we can't today, so hopefully we'll get them recorded tomorrow. We'll have my show on Thursday, Midweek Millers, as always.
Oh, no!
I know, yeah. I'll tell you what, though, one thing that I know Tom's looking forward to, and he can plug it now if he wants, is the World Cup. Do you have anything? Have you got any inkling or any clues to what might happen with World Cup for Tom that you can share?
Well, first and foremost, it's coming home. But now what I'm going to do at the end of the season, we're going to have a pre-World Cup show. We're going to talk about each and every team's chances. Do you know what? That's the three things that are keeping this season alive for me. This podcast, that banging tune at the start of Miller's Monday, and the World Cup. So, stay tuned for all that. And listen, when we do get put down tomorrow, probably we'll move on, but we'll still be here covering everything Rugby United, even in the post-season and pre-season, as it were. And obviously, Bez mentioned about the Legends game, I suppose, the QR codes there. Yeah,
you beat me to it. I was going to mention that. So, yeah, don't forget, obviously, Tiny's already mentioned it today. We have still got the Legends game, which I know it's difficult, but we need you to try and get to. This could be your only chance to see these players in action again, to be honest with you. And Ronnie as well. Ronnie's going to be there managing the team. And as we've said, he's getting on now, Ronnie. So,
what a refreshing way to end a really poor season on the pitch by watching legends of the club. I mean, bar Adam Hamill, they're all legends, really. Lee Camp's passion, Warnock's fist bumps at end of game every week. What a team, what two teams we have there. Get your send down, get your tickets bought, everyone. Really good course, Rotherham Hospice. It's there for people who need it. It could be there for you lot one day in later life as well if you need it. Get your tickets, QR code, top right corner, be there. Great course, great event. Up them Millers.
Yeah, brilliant. And Tiny's summarised that brilliantly, thanks. And the last comment of the night, Dave Cressy. Well done, lads. Great show as always. Up the Millers. Not sure what KTF means, to be fair. But Dave, thanks for joining.
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith, that's it. Well done, Tiny.
Well done, Tiny.
Tiny's younger than me, that's why. So, yeah, all the Millers, keep the faith. I agree, Dave. And we will see you tomorrow. All the Millers, cheers, everyone. Bye.